According to the Johns Hopkins Medical Center, there is a science to how we remember. They teach that memories are formed as a result of connections between neurons in the brain. New connections, the synapses, are formed each time a new activity is learned. And so the more a person participates in a particular activity, the stronger the synapses and associated memories tied to that activity become. Science is telling us that essentially the more we do something, the easier it is to remember how to do that thing. It makes sense. Practice makes perfect. So too, the more we spend time with someone, the closer they are to us, the easier it is for them to be remembered in our minds and remain in our minds as if they are right here, right by our side. Earlier this year, a team of scientists at the University of Southern California participated in a study and witnessed a memory forming inside a brain. In that study published in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences, they compared imaging of a brain from earlier in the week, and they expected the brain simply to slightly tweak in neural architecture, to be a little bit different, as we each are, with a new memory, after experiencing a new moment, after a new encounter or interaction slightly changes us. Instead, they notice a major overhaul of connections, what they described as a hodgepodge of many new pathways. You see, a moment, an interaction, or a relationship form they found didn't just slightly change someone. They don't just slightly change who we are. Rather, the study concluded we are forever changed completely. And we sit here today, we know that to be true. We are changed completely the moment someone comes into our lives. And we are changed completely because of every single moment we spend with them. When we love someone so much, a spouse or partner, a parent, a child, a friend, science is showing us that they forever become a part of us. Every experience with them, every new memory we create with them completely changes us and changes us for the better. We are changed for good. We are who we are because we have been touched by our loved ones. Our parents who taught us between right and wrong, who sacrificed so much for us, who we looked up to as children like they were superheroes, larger than life. Or our spouses, who we fell in love with every single day and continue to be in our hearts, who we continue to love and miss every single day without them in our lives. Our siblings, where our relationships evolved over time from being a friend to fighting nonstop, to sharing secrets, to being a voice of reason and a person to confide in. A child who left this world far too soon with their lives still ahead of them. And yet, in their short time in this world, they had a profound impact on it and on our lives. A friend who we treated like family, who we turned to more than relatives, who were always our first call, always the first person we turned to for help or advice, the friendly face who cheered us up when we needed a smile. We are changed for good. And yet, just as science tells us that the more we interact with someone, the easier it is to remember them, to remember their smell and their laugh, the way our fingers notched perfectly next to theirs within their hand, to remember their touch and their kiss and the warmth of their hug. We know that the longer our loved ones have been gone, the harder it seems it becomes to remember them. Sometimes we close our eyes and desperately seek to see them again. We struggle at times to remember their voice, what they sounded like. We try to remember their smell and their touch. The longer they've been gone, the harder it becomes. While our loved ones will always be with us, there are even times with the busyness of work, of family, of living life, that we forget for a brief moment that they are gone, and then we feel guilty, and we worry as time passes that it becomes harder to remember them. We fear that one day we may forget them completely. But that's impossible, for science tells us so. For they've literally changed who we are. Our brains are completely different because they were a part of our lives. And we will forever be changed for the better because of them. Sometimes we just need to take a moment to turn off everything else in life that distracts us and to be with them again. To sit in silence with our memories and remember them and laugh with them and cry with them and be with them. And have them be with us and change us all over again. For ultimately, that's what the Yizkor service is all about. To sit with our memories and sit with our loved ones. To recognize how we have been forever changed because they've been a part of our lives. And so, we come together, Yizkor, to remember them again and all over again, and to make sure that they forever change us. We are who we are because they were in our lives, and we remember to keep them in our lives. May the memory of all those we remember on this day be for a blessing, always, as for we are forever changed. Amen.